Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about metrics and knowing your numbers so that you can know your money. The best way to set up your Facebook ad account is to go and when you go into your main ads manager and you land on the ads manager page like this one you're looking at here, you want to be able to set up the reports so you can understand all the stuff that you're seeing here, all the numbers, all the percentages and the different things that are done. Usually out of the box, your Facebook ad setup is like this. It's set up to go to performance as soon as you land on this page. And what that does is it puts certain columns across the chart here on top. And I like to look at mine a little bit differently. I set it up a couple ways. The main ad report you see right here, if you go over to the Power Lead or PLS training slash MTA, this is our main Social Profit Academy website. You log into the Social Profit Academy site, which obviously you're watching this video inside of it. But if you were to go to the Shopify e-commerce course and go down to reporting, benchmarks, and scaling, and look at this setup right here. This is for e-commerce. So there's a certain setup you use in Facebook ads if you were selling physical products, e-commerce, trinkets, necklaces, jewelry, t-shirts. And e-commerce has a completely different set of setup rules than what I would do with if I was doing webinar funnels or sales video funnels or conversion funnels. So there's selling physical products and digital products. There's also selling, getting people to go through funnels and tracking people through the funnels. So if you're interested in e-commerce selling and setting up your reports for e-commerce, go to the Shopify. Go down here to step 8, reporting, benchmarks, and scaling, and you can kind of see in here how I've set the reports up for that type of a system. For the Rainmaker systems, when you go over here to Facebook paid ads training, it's going to be this last step here, step number 7, and you'll scroll down here to the very bottom of step 7 here. Of course, you're watching this video right here in the step 7 area right down here at the bottom, and we'll have some text obviously when I put the video here with some supplemental text, and this is where you're watching. So what I do is I have to set up and customize these tabs so that the numbers make sense to me. So I set up a new customization called webinar funnel, and I've now made this my default, and this now gives me the stats that I want to see. I'm going to walk you through how to set it up so you can set up your funnel charts to look the same way. Now to get these kind of stats, you're going to have to put the Facebook pixel on your funnels inside of your ClickFunnels pages or your Power Lead system pages or whatever kind of website system you're using to bring funnels and bring people through your funnels. So where do you get your pixel? You go over here to the 3 lines on top, you click on those, and you see pixels here in the sidebar. If you don't, go to All Tools, and then you're going to click on Pixels right here. And then once you're in your pixels page here, over here on the right side of the page, there's a little eyeball right here. Click on that eyeball. And it says install the base pixel code. You're going to need to put this base pixel code inside of your main ClickFunnels account or your main website account, so it's on every page in your funnel. Your opt-in page, your webinar video sales letter page, your thank you page, every page that takes people through a piece of your funnel. This baseline code right here, the base pixel code right here, needs to be on every single one of those pages. So if you just click on this box right here, it'll automatically copy it to your clipboard. Now we're going to go to my ClickFunnels account. And we're going to log in. Okay, so I'm just going to take Catherine's Rainmaker funnel and pretend that this is like any random website that's out there. This is a funnel we set up for her as an affiliate to be able to promote our Rainmaker offer. So we need to make sure that every page in the funnel has that base code in it. So this page has 1, 2, 3 pages in it, this funnel. And so now we're going to go to that first page in the funnel, the opt-in page, and we're going to go to settings up here on top. And right here where it says head tracking code inside of ClickFunnels, we're going to make sure that we put that and paste that code in here. Okay, so this would be on your particular site. You'd be pasting your own pixel in here as well. So you paste that in there, and once you've got it pasted in there, scroll down to the bottom, and you're going to click on Save and Update the Settings. Okay, so that's done. Now that pixel code is all the way across your site, and it tracks every page in there for page views. But there's certain actions that happen on each page. For example, coming back to the ads manager here, you can see that there's these other things called event codes. What these event codes do, these event codes tell Facebook when certain actions or events take place inside of your website. So if a person leaves your, lands on your landing page and then adds something to the cart, on the add the cart page, you can put this special code here, and it'll let Facebook know that somebody added something to the cart, or added to the wish list, or initiated the checkout, or added their payment info, or even made a purchase, or became a lead, or completed a registration. So we want to measure certain parts of this. In e-commerce, you're going to want to track, the view content, add to carts, initiate checkouts, and purchases. That's great for e-commerce tracking. But when you're doing funnel tracking, you're basically tracking leads. How far do leads go through the process before they make a decision? And so we need to put this lead tracking code right here. So we're going to click on lead, and we're going to click on this box. It's going to add it to our copy, and now it's in our clipboard. Going to go back to ClickFunnels. We're going to go to the page where people land after they opt in. So if this individual came to this page right here, the squeeze page, and registered for the free content, they're going to land on the webinar replay room or the video sales letter, and we need to put code on this page to tell Facebook, hey, this lead went from the first page to the second page and is now officially a lead because they opted in, and we need to be able to track that. So how you do that is you click on Edit Page, and then you need to go up here where it says Settings, Tracking Code, and in the footer you need to paste that little snippet of code. And what I do is I just take the value here and just make the value 0. Okay, so this code right here means if the lead came to the squeeze page and then opted into your list, and then the system would automatically land them on the video replay page, it would send a tracking pixel code to Facebook saying, hey, the person just went from this spot to this spot, so they must be a lead because they opted in. And this triggers it so that we can view how many leads or opt-ins we get on our website. That's what the pixel tracking code is for. So you got to put these little codes on each page of your website to be able to track how people are moving through your site. If you don't do that correctly, you're not going to be able to see the stats that I see when I look at my ads manager and I see all the activity that's going across each of my funnels and each of my pages here. So we're going to kind of break these down a little bit and kind of show you how what we're tracking here. So this one right here, this is for an ad we ran to get people to take a trip to Hawaii. In order for them to come to Hawaii, they had to come to a presentation in Carlsbad, California. So we were running an ad to get people to come to this live presentation in Carlsbad. We can see across the chart here. What are we tracking? Website purchase conversion value is not going to track anything because these people don't actually purchase anything online. The whole point of this ad is to drive somebody to make a phone call, to call a call center, to get booked to come to a physical presentation at a hotel meeting. Well, then they're going to get pitched on our travel product, and at the end, if they don't buy the travel product, they still get the Hawaii trip. And that's the whole purpose of this ad. So you're not going to see any website purchase conversion value because nobody buys anything through this funnel. They just are instructed to pick up their phone and call the call center, or the call center calls them and connects the call through the robotic Rainmaker function. Okay, so we spent almost $900 on this campaign, and total spent today. This is telling us how many website leads. This is not going to show any numbers here because this is for a lead generation ad. A lead generation ad will show you how many website leads it generated. Since we're using a conversion ad instead of a lead generation ad, we're going to find all of our leads generated over here in the results column right here. All right. So it tells us how much our cost per result is. So that's telling me that each lead, each opt-in cost me $10.66. It tells me how many people saw my ad, 13,397. The frequency of them seeing it, they've seen it 1.5 times. And then the results, how many leads I generated. So I generated 84 leads at a cost of about $10.66 each. My cost per million is $43. My click-through rate is 3.22. My click-through rate, there's two different click-through rates here. Then I've got my unique click-through rate, another unique click-through rate. So I don't really pay attention so much right now to these click-through rates down here in the back side of the chart. These aren't so really important to me. What I want to know ultimately is, what is it costing me to generate a lead is my biggest concern. This cost right here, $10.66. Can I get that lead cost to go down? And can I get more leads at a cheaper cost? That's the whole purpose of this funnel, is to get as many people to respond to that ad, opt into my squeeze page, become a lead, and then my follow-up system, my automatic voicemails, my text messages, and my emails kick in to get those people to call the call center so they can book a time to come to my meeting. Okay, so that's one way I'm using these charts here to interpret what's happening in this particular campaign. Let's look at a different one. Here's a Rainmaker campaign. This particular campaign here is for a promotion we're doing right now on Facebook. So as you can see in this particular campaign, we spent $642 so far. Today we spent $49. We've generated 122 leads. Now I can tell it's a Facebook conversion ad because we're optimizing this for conversions. It's not a lead gen ad, it's a conversion ad, so my mistake. So it's a Facebook conversion ad. We've got 122 conversions, website leads right here. It also matches the number we see over here in results. So we know that this is, in fact, the amount of leads we've generated. The cost per lead, or the cost per result, is going to be the same. So this is cost per result right here, and this is cost per lead, and this should be the same number. So $5.27 here. Okay, so this is a much cheaper campaign compared to the one we just looked at earlier, where it was costing me over $10 per opt-in. This one's costing me $5.27, but it's for a completely different offer. So I can see my numbers, I can see my costs here across the lead chart. Let's go look at another campaign. This one here was a video, and this is a lead gen ad. How do I know it's a lead gen ad? Because if I go into the campaign here and I go to edit the ad, scroll down, I see there's a lead form right here. And with a lead form, that lets me know this is a lead gen ad, okay? So on this lead gen ad, which was a video-based lead gen ad, it was costing us $17.94 per opt-in. And so even though we only generated 32 leads, that was just way too high of a cost per lead to generate. So we shut the campaign down. We shut the ad down because the costs were way too high per lead. We knew that we don't want to get leads for $17. We want to get leads for $5 or less is what we're looking for. Ideally, $3 or less is the sweet spot. And that's for any kind of a lead generation campaign. $3 or less is remarkable. Here's another ad that we did. You can see over here our cost per lead, $9.05. Here's one we ran right here. Our cost per lead was $4.34. That was a really good campaign. We got 41 leads right here. 41 leads at $4.34. And this was chasing a Las Vegas gift certificate. And if you want to see what this ad looked like, it was this picture right here with the Las Vegas sign on it. So this one got a lot of response. We got a lot of activity. We got a really good click-through rate here. $4.34 cost per lead, and we generated 41 leads in this campaign at a relatively inexpensive cost. I love $4.34 a lead. I'd take that all day long. and I want to get as many of those leads to come and call our call center and make an appointment to come and see us face to face at our live presentation meetings. So this is how you read your charts. Your charts are really all about telling you how many leads you're getting and how much the cost per lead is, and you're trying to get that cost per lead as low as possible. And if you're moving people through an automated webinar or sales letter funnel where you're actually going to take a sale and have a credit card transaction at the end of the steps, at the end of your funnel, well, you can put a purchase pixel on your thank you page. And that thank you page pixel would tell you if you made a purchase. And then you know right here where it says website purchases conversion value, you'd actually know how much those leads cost you till you got a purchase and how much those purchases were worth to you. And you'd always be able to see if you're positive or negative in your ad spend. If you spend $1,000 to make $8,000, you'd know that. You'd know that you spent $1,000, and of all the leads that came through your funnel, you generated $8,000 in revenue. You'd be able to see that right here in these charts. It would tell you all those numbers right here in this chart. So having it dialed in correctly is really important. That's what I wanted to show you, is just kind of how to read these numbers first. Now the next thing I'm going to tell you is how to set up these charts so that look like mine. So all you're going to do is click over here where it says columns, website, webinar funnel. Yours might say something different right here, but click on where it says columns, and you're going to go down to customize columns down here in this chart. And then over here on the right side here, you can see this is the customized column setup. I've got 22 columns selected, and I'm going to just scroll through this list here so you can see them, and you can pause the video, because what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you put everything in the same order that I've got over here. So what you do is you can type the word that I have. If I have like a website purchase conversion value right here, you want to type that up here, and it's going to select it in this list, and make sure you put the check mark by it. And when you put the check mark by it, it's going to add it to your list down here at the very bottom. And then you can grab it with this little crosshair here, and you can drag it and grab it and put it in the right spot. So I want you to do that. I want you to take each item you see on this list right here and put it in the exact same order that mine are in. And if you don't have something that's in my list, type it over here in the search box. When it pops up, check the checkbox by it. It'll stick it down here at the bottom of your list, and then grab it and drag it and put it up wherever it's going to go in this list. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let you just take a screenshot or a snapshot of this far, and what I'm going to do is just kind of wait for you guys to kind of get that. Pause the video if you need to, make a list, and then I'm going to scroll the scroll bar down here and get the second half of this list. Alright, so this is after frequency. We've got results. So then this is the next set of things you want to have in your chart. So go ahead and put those in here, and make a note of all these different classifications and categories here. You're going to go through the search box and search for each one of these, check the checkbox, and then go ahead and put it in the same order I've got mine in. And I'm just going to scroll down just a little bit more and put the last one in there. Okay, so once you're done doing this and putting everything in the correct order that you've got here, click on this button that says Save As Preset. Name it, webinar funnel tracking, or funnel tracking, whatever keyword you want to name it, and then click on the Apply button over here, and that's going to save that unique, customized tracking report to your columns, so you can pull it up and use it. Okay, so go ahead again, once again, fill this chart with the same exact words and order you see here. I'm going to scroll it down, get the next set of stuff you see here, put it in here, check the checkbox, name it, hit the Apply button, and once that's done, it's going to show up in this report right down here. Now what I do is I take the one that I want to be in, I've named mine Webinar Funnel, and I say Set as Default. So now that I've clicked on the one that I'm working in, and I say Set as Default, whenever I load my ad manager up for the first time, it'll always bring up the Webinar Funnel report as my default. If I'm doing e-commerce, I have that e-commerce report called Main Ad Report, and I can click that button. And if I'm doing e-commerce sales, I can categorize everything. I only have one e-commerce campaign I'm running right now. You can see I've only had, let's do today's date. So you can see in this e-commerce ad, I've got 19 people who have visited my website, and 2 people have added my product to the cart. So it's a totally different chart here. We're seeing people who have visited websites, added products to cart, and this one is made a purchase, and then what my cost per purchase is and how much my profit is. I can see that when I'm doing my e-commerce charts. So I set that up. And again, just to reiterate, if you want to learn about the e-commerce, scroll all the way back up to the Shopify e-commerce and go to step 8 and look at the benchmarks and the reporting and the metrics for e-commerce. It's a lot different than studying webinar funnels. And the goal really here, you guys, is to make sure that you're optimizing your webinars to get your cost per lead as cheap as possible. You can see right now I'm getting a $3.92 lead right here, and I'm spending about about $115 a day right now, and on this campaign, and $115 on this campaign a day, and my lead costs are relatively low, and I'm really happy with these lead costs. And I know if I get a sale here, that my sale is worth quite a lot of money to me if they buy my product. It's a $3,000 sale. So my goal is to put as many leads through this a day to qualify as many possible leads to go ahead and fill out the application at the end of my funnel. And those applications are worth gold to me. The more applications that I have that people fill out, the stronger a chance I have of closing a sale and subscribing somebody into my program and getting them to learn how to build Rainmaker funnels for themselves and for their clients. Okay, so that's the goal, is to get as many Rainmaker clients as we possibly can, or done for you clients, by marketing this particular funnel through a Facebook ad. So that's how you set up your metrics. If you have any questions about metrics, if it was confusing to you, I know if you're greenhorn or you're just getting started with Facebook ads, the metrics might be very confusing, but I'll tell you what, it's the backbone of every successful campaign. If you know this lead is costing you $20 or $30 or $40 a lead, there's just no way you're going to make money with that campaign. Shoot for $5 or less. The sweet spot is $3 or less, and you can definitely make money on $3 leads, and you can pour a lot of money into this, knowing that if you get a couple hundred leads a day, that you're going to end up getting 10, 15, 20 applications a day. Okay, or you got to figure that out. Once you get so many leads per day, you've got to start looking at those leads per day opting in, saying how many actually complete the webinar or the video sales letter and go to the application. Because what really matters to me is not how many leads we get, but how many leads we get that fill out the application. And that's the most important thing you want to see in your Rainmaker funnels. All right, that's the end of this video. Enjoy. Ask questions if you have any questions in the Facebook group.